So I picked up these old Koss TD 80s at a thrift store, and they have a couple problems. First primary one is, well, frankly they stink, so we're just going to go ahead and we're going to solve that right now. We really just do not want these nasty pads anymore. So now we're going to go ahead and take these here, and we're just going to go ahead and put them in the bin where they belong. Okay, and now that the pads are gone, so the other problem with these headphones is the volume dials. The potentiometers have a couple issues, so I'll go ahead and demonstrate that. So if we go ahead and turn on the left, turn this music on and start with the left side. So if I start playing with that a little bit, and then moving to the right side, it's a little better. But so what we're going to go ahead and do is stop that, get that out of there. We want to go ahead and take these apart. So there's a couple, 3 screws on each side, another 3 here, and we're going to go ahead and take this thing apart. Okay. So that's one side. So this here should now, if I push this through, I have to clear this little volume dial through that slot, and should come right apart. Just like that, and that, and there's that side. So looks like somebody did something with glue in here. But I think we're going to take both sides apart and make sure. Side might be a little more difficult. Came right off though. And yeah, that is very different inside. Does not look like anyone's been in there with a glue gun, so that's good news. is now I have to get the knobs off here. So what do we have to deal with inside? See if this comes off. Just like that. Doesn't look to be anything too bad inside. Go ahead and get the other one off though. So these guys have a little flat section. Don't know if focus, but there is a little flat bit on the inside that helps you line them up when you go to put them back on. Cool. And that's how you disassemble those. Okay, so now the plan is I'm gonna go ahead and spray these guys with a little bit of air, see if we can get anything jammed up in there a little loose. And then dip this guy into the IPA and just lightly get a little bit on there. It should evaporate pretty quick and hopefully clean out whatever our problem is. And that stinks now, so we're going to let that sit for a couple minutes and then spray it again. So while we wait for that, let's go ahead and see if we can clean out some of the gunk inside the headphones. So some of this is from old foam, it looks like. So we don't want that staying around and being gross. So that could just cause problems again. And it's just not very pretty to have some of that old gunk in there. Some of this has probably been in here 20 years. So let's go ahead now and now let's get these guys put back on and spin them a few times and see if we can get these things working. So these only go on the one way. We'll flat sections there, so get them lined up and on there. I'll get that one on and do the same thing again. If we plug this guy in now, we should be able to hear if it's working or not. That sounds like it works pretty good. Go ahead and turn that mic up a little. Sounds like it works real nice, so we're going to go ahead and stop this, and let's go ahead and put it back together now. So I'm going to go ahead and get that screw back in there. Just tighten that up. Careful not to strip out the screws. It looks like if you over tighten it, it doesn't rotate good, so back that out a touch. There we go. These screws are definitely pretty soft, so do be careful with them. Though you definitely can tighten them up a little more if you don't want these to rotate as easy. That might be worth doing. Just not too tight, it doesn't turn at all. Okay, so now the fun part is getting these back into the cans. And then we can work on getting some of that adhesive off. Make sure the knots here are inside. You want those in there so that way if headphones get tugged, it doesn't pull cables out of places. And then slip that back into that, and we'll go ahead and, well, we'll try and not drop it and get these screws back in there. Tighten this up. So on this end, where you've got your input cable, you want to go ahead and make sure that, well, for one, you've got it the right way around, but that both of these knots, the ones for going in to the rest of the band and coming in from outside, are both inside headphones. They're There's probably notches in the old cables too from being jammed into the housing, so try and get those somewhat close. And on the side coming in, should have a little nozzle guy here, and he only wants to go on one way, so the headphones are angled and he has a little angle that comes down and over, so go ahead and line that up with the way that comes in on the bottom. Slide that in. Make sure you don't hurt any of these cables, and be gentle and patient. And try not to knot anybody up here. Why are we not happy? Okay. Let's see. What is the problem? Oh, I see. This guy wants to come up here and around. Loops in there. There you go. You tuck everybody in. We're still not happy. Side definitely is a little bit tougher. But now we can go ahead, put the screws back on. Once you get one on there, it's not going to go anywhere. let's go ahead and make sure everything still works. Open up this side though. It's a touch bit loose, but everything seems to work now, so that's the good news. So next up is cleaning up a headband and putting on pads, and I have some pads prepared for this. It measures out to roughly 100 millimeters by 80. So any 100 by 80 millimeter pads should work. You probably want ones that tape on or just glue on any old pads, and get to that coming up next, right? So now we want to go ahead and I think get some of this adhesive off. Not really very good looking stuff to have on there, and we don't really need it, so I think the best way to start on that is going to be some alcohol. And let's see if we can get some of that off. Yeah, that should come off with a paper towel. Cool. Something to scrape it with. Actually, a razor would probably work better. So what we're doing is taking a razor here and just going, trying to scrape some of that adhesive off, the big chunks of it. I'm trying to do it downward so I don't get it jammed in there. Remember, don't slide a razor or knife towards you. And I'm gonna go at this a while, and I think I'll get back when got this fixed here. So do a quick cut. Okay, so when you've got them cleaned up, next thing you want to do is go ahead and take some pads. Got these here. certainly not original ones, but these have adhesive on them, so want to go ahead and get them peeled off. And then we will go ahead and stick these on. So these have a seam on them, so I'm going to go ahead and put the seam on the bottom. It'll look a little better, I think, and it's lined up almost right. Get that lined just right. We'll just go ahead and press that on. Not a perfect fit, but considering age of the headphones, it's nice to find something that fits at all. Go ahead and set up the second one now. Little pin tool there. Press those on. And we have pads. So the only thing really left to do at this point is clean up this vinyl up here, and that'll just be some automotive conditioner. Stuff safe for vinyl, leather, whatever, and then they're pretty much good to go. So hope this was helpful. Bye.